Hi, this is Kelly. Welcome to my channel, and welcome to part 2 of my dark fantasy series, Heir to the Flame. DIY number 1, Enter the Lair. Now I got these wall hangings at the thrift store, and they're just like some kind of ruins, and all I'm going to do is spruce them up. I've got my chalkboard black paint here, and it's all painted all pretty now. And then I've got this metallic amethyst is the name of this purple color. And I'm just dabbing that on. That's folk art, by the way. I'm just dabbing that on these like little bushy, I guess it's little bushy areas or some moss growing, whatever it's supposed to be. Pretty it up a little bit. And I have 2 of these things. They're a little bit different. But yeah, I saw them in a thrift store, and I didn't think, of Roman ruins. I thought, dragon, hell yeah. Now I've got my gold metallic paint, and I'm brushing that onto all of these leaves. And we're just going to bring out all that detail, all those raised areas. We want to pick all that up, make it shiny. Thank you guys for being with me today. I sure hope you're enjoying the dragons. I don't know why nobody does anything with dragons. All I ever see is either 3D printed stuff or like stuff for kids, for costumes and such. I never see anything like this. And I also took the dry brushed the gold metallic all over just to brighten it all up. I just went a little heavier on the leaves. But anyway, I appreciate you guys so much for being here again. It's this has been so much fun. You guys have helped my channel grow so much, so fast. I still can't believe it. And I'm having a hell of a good time, so let's keep it up. So here's what we've got, and we're going to put that aside to dry. And we have DIY number 2, Reliquary. And this is similar to DIY number 1. It's not so much a DIY as a makeover. I got this candlestick thrifting, and I just thought, well, that just screams something Gothic or something dragon or whatever. I had to have it. And it's beautiful like it is. But what I decided to do was, this is just regular Craftsmart black acrylic. It's flat, but it's not chalk paint. And I'm going to take an old paintbrush and just pretty much jam it in the recessed areas of the design. And we're going to take the sponge and we're going to wipe it off. Because we just want to darken the background. Because we're going to go in with that same gold metallic paint on the raised details. But I just wanted that black to make that that gold pop. Now, I know you're not going to find this exact candlestick in your thrift store, obviously, but I have found numerous beautiful candlesticks, all kinds, at my you'll find something. So I've got this little sponge dabber on a stick here. I get these at Dollar General, cheap. And they wash fine. You can wash them and reuse them. But if you forget, let it sit, and it turns all hard, you just throw it away. They don't cost very much. But if you get to them right away, they will wash out very easily. And we're just going to go all around and dab all those pretty little details. So pretty. Yeah, I just thought this really brought it to life. It was all kind of one note, kind of blah, and this made it pop a little bit. And that's pretty much it. Put that aside to dry. DIY number 3. Now this is the big one. I call this Forbearing. Patiently and anxiously waiting. So this is a styrofoam egg that I had done some texture to it. I was going to use it for something at Easter time and never used it, and it's been sitting here in my stash. And then I thought, you know what, dragon egg. This is scales cut out of just your run-of-the-mill craft foam. Again, Dollar General is where I got it, and I tried to keep it all one color, but it doesn't matter. I'm painting it anyway, but I ended up having to add some yellow, so it looks a little goofy for a while later on. But I just used some hot glue for this, and you saw me a minute ago with my heat gun. And if you heat this up, and be careful, don't do it too long, you can melt it, but if you heat it up, you can get it to go in the shape you want. You can even stretch it a little bit. If your scales aren't lining up quite right, you can heat it up and kind of pull them over. But and you'll see as we go. I looked up ways to make this, and I sure as heck wasn't going to do the entire egg with single scales. Who has that kind of time? Who has that kind of time? And I found, I can't remember the name of it off my head. I will look it up and link it. But I found a fellow on YouTube who made a replica of the egg in Game of Thrones. And he went all out. He even made the egg out of craft foam. And he has the patterns for that. And he has the patterns for these scales. So I will link his video in my description. And if you want a more detailed tutorial from someone who knows more what they're doing, you know. And he also used an airbrush. I'm not skilled with an airbrush. If you're skilled with an airbrush, you may want to do it that way. But I'm getting ahead of myself with where we are in this video. And you see, it didn't quite come all the way around, and I did have to cut 2 single scales. And you want them to lay flat and be flush against each other. You don't want humps and bumps. And I also forget to show you here, before I put the second layer on, you want to take down that edge to keep it from getting too bulky. You want to burnish that, and I'll show you that in a minute. But right now I'm putting the second layer, and you just put the scales in the opposite position of the existing scales, so they go between each other. You see how I'm doing that? And we just keep going on around. And then before it's over with, I was eyeballing a lot of this. Like I said, this other tutorial I'm going to give you a link for, it gets into much more detail, and I wasn't worried about it being perfect, but you know, I wanted it to look nice. I'm pretty happy with it. Oh, so here we are. I have my little Dremel tool. This isn't a Dremel brand, it's a different brand, and I got this from Amazon. It's fantastic. It's rechargeable, and it holds a charge for a long time. And I'm just very carefully burnishing the edges so we don't get too bulky. And then we're going to do our third layer. And as you go, as the egg gets smaller, you're supposed to use smaller scales. And that's what I was talking about when I started kind of eyeballing it. I took the pattern and just made another one a little smaller with the foam. But yeah, this will have patterns with small, medium, and large. It depends on how big your egg is too. I think his egg was a little bigger than mine. This one here has a flat bottom so you can stand it up. But it's about the size of an ostrich egg, I guess. Excuse my background noise. My son and husband are in the other room talking, and they got big mouths. It's no big deal. I shut the door, so we shouldn't have any more trouble. With the music, hopefully you won't even hear it. But so we're going to continue around with our hot glue. And just keep lining it up in between the last layer of scales. And I'm heating it up. You'll see here, I'm going to pull it over. See where it doesn't quite come across? Look at that. You just pull it over. Just hold on to it for a minute and glue it, and it will stay. It won't be trying to spring back on you or anything like that. It's really nice to work with. Really nice. Wouldn't have any trouble with it. And you see, we're just lining it up and cutting out another piece to fit again. And that's the thing, where you see how it's landing halfway between a scale. It's kind of one of those things you have to feel your way through it. It's not going to fit exactly right. My egg isn't the same scale as the tutorial I watched to learn how to do this. See, I just moved it over, which leaves a gap, which is okay. because the next layer is going to cover that up. So that's what I end up doing here. But you kind of have to feel your way around. Where do I trim it to get it to fit and line up? And, you know, you can always try to make sure there's one side is designated the back, you know, and keep all your boo-boos in the back, keep all the imperfections in the back. But when it was all said and done, all the little scales, some of them end up a little different size from each other where you want, and I was like, oh no. But once it's painted and once it's all said and done, you can't really tell. You really can't. And it was it took some time cutting all these out. It was a pain, but it was worth it. This comes out so nice, and this foam takes paint very well. Now, I did a lot of experimenting. I'll tell you that now. Looks like I might have a minute. With the paint, I didn't want to just start spray painting it with regular aerosol spray paint. I didn't know it was going to melt it. You know, the accelerant in those cans can melt foam. So I protect the heck out of this egg first, because I do use spray paint on it. But I put 2 layers of Mod Podge over this entire thing, and then I have at least 2 layers of black acrylic paint over the entire thing. And you have to get under all the scales and all the edges, so by the time you're done getting the paint everywhere it needs to go, you've got 2+ coats on this thing. And between the Mod Podge and the acrylic paint, it protected the egg, and it took the spray paint just fine. It didn't harm it. It did fantastic. So we just continue around, keep gluing these down. So it looks like it's lining up pretty nicely here. And then, like I said, as you get closer to the top where it gets smaller, you've got to cut them in smaller pieces, 2 scales at a time, and then once I get to the top, it's 1 scale at a time. And again, I already mentioned, make sure they lay flat and flush next to each other. You gotta keep on trimming and fitting, and yeah, it took a little time. Oh yeah, and you see I'm bumping the Dremel on the scales, just really quick bump, bump, bump. That's just adding a little texture to all the scales. You don't have to do that. I thought it added a nice look, just a little extra, you know, realism. I want them to look like scales. So, and then you see how it's all crooked and it's not like a perfect line all the way. You have to just keep matching it as best you can. And here we are with just single scales. And again, there's no, once you get up here, for me anyway, there was no set size. I just cut them all off of the strip and then just keep cutting them to fit so they fit in between. And I had to switch to the yellow foam. It looked so goofy for a minute there. And you can see, well, I'm covered up now, you can see some of the scales are skinnier than others, but it's better they're different sizes than not laying between the scales on the next row down. And here I'm just marking where all the scales are on this tissue paper, because we're going to cut a rounded piece out to go on the top. So again, I just had to kind of guess and draw it out. And it looks kind of like a flower shape there. So we're hoping that we can lay this on top and all the scales will line up in between the other scales. And we're going to use our heat gun and soften it and round, and it lays down just fine. Don't forget to Dremel all the edges of everything for the next layer. And I'm marking here on the top piece and the lower piece where to line it back up, where the scales go back. So here's where, when I first put this top piece on, you know, even though we kept it as thin by using the Dremel as we could, it still got a little bulky, and the tip wasn't the tip anymore. It was too round and flat. on top. So I'm like, well, the egg shape is now kind of screwy. It didn't look right. So, and you see there, see, it's just too rounded and flat. And my son was making fun of it, saying it looked like a pineapple. Anyway, I did fix that. What I did was, see, we're just right now just covering the entire thing with Mod Podge, getting up under everything, and I put 2 coats of that on there. What I did was I cut 2 circles, one about the size of a quarter and one about the size of a dime of that foam, and glued the larger one down the top of the egg, then the smaller one, then put that top piece back on, and that raised it up and created more of a point, and that fixed the problem. So if you do this, keep that in mind. You know, even though we're trying to keep the bulk down as much as possible, you're going to need to do something for that. So now we're putting the black paint on, and this is just black acrylic, and this here is that metallic amethyst paint. And I was talking earlier about an airbrush, because I was thinking, you know, it would be cool to be able to do a kind of a faded paint job, but I don't have the skill to do that. You know, some people do that with spray paint. But once I got that purple on there, I'm like, you know what? I'm leaving the top of this black. So, and again, we've got several coats between the Mod Podge and the paint. There was 2 coats of that purple went on as well. Now we're going to use the gloss clear coat. And this is a spray paint I was talking about. And look what it did. Oh my goodness. It turned out so pretty. That gloss turned that flat paint into gloss. So we're going to take these little coins, I got these from Amazon, and just we're going to break up this black a little bit. So I glue those on and paint them black and hit it with clear coat again. Now I've got this is model paint. This is Tester's spray paint color shift. It's supposed to change colors when you turn it at different angles. I didn't see where it did that, but this is like a clear coat with metallic flakes in it. One was like a purple, one was like a pink. You see, it's subtle, and you see it better in person. But it really just, again, it broke up the black a little bit, and just gave it a nice little extra. So now I'm just taking a little gold, antique gold rub and buff, and grabbing the details on those coins, and that ties in the gold, the purple, and the gold, and the, you know, with the framed dragon in part 1. And again, breaks up that black. But once I saw that purple under the black, I'm like, I'm keeping the black. And here's our reveal with all the pretty things. Thank you guys for being here today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like and share and all the things, and come back and see me next time. Bye.